You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. Just above freezing on a Sunday afternoon in Boulder, Colorado. And the West Virginia Mountaineers make the trip to the foothills of the Rocky Mountains for the first time ever. Number 21 team in the nation, ready to match up with Colorado, searching for its first Big 12 win since rejoining the league. And hi there and welcome courtside, along with former Iona and Providence head coach Tim Welsh. I'm Ted Emmerich. These are two teams trying to start this week off right. You saw West Virginia get pounded by Arizona on Tuesday, and Colorado still kicking itself after a narrow loss to UCF.
Well, West Virginia has a small margin for error, only down to about 7 players, 8 available, but they're only going to go with a small lineup, a short rotation, and Colorado's going to try to wear them out. That's what they're going to try to do. They've been very close, especially at home. They've been good. On the road, they should have won the game against UCF in their eyes, but they didn't. A lot of turnovers at the end.
Yeah, Buffs, they need a big game from Julian Hammond III.
Well, Julian Hammond had an outstanding game in their most recent game against UCF. Only had 26, but only didn't score against Arizona State. And then when you go to the other side of the tape, one of the best players in this league in Javon Small, leading scorer in the conference. He's going to have to do it all, but will look to get his teammates involved early and often because they need some balance. It can't be all about Javon Small.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Tim, it is basically a 7-man rotation for West Virginia. Tucker DeVries, the coach's son, will miss his 7th straight game out with an upper body injury. Funny that college basketball has turned into hockey now with these injury reports, upper body versus lower body injury. But there's no timeline for DeVries' return, and so they have to march on without him.
Well, they've handled it well. They went in down Fieldhouse, beat Kansas, and Arizona played very well against them. But Aaron DeVries is going to try to control the tempo. He has so much to work with, but it's going to start with their defense.
Colorado was up 10 in the second half in Orlando Wednesday, but 22 turnovers were costly in that 1-point loss to UCF. Post to post, Malone finds a Joe for the first basket of the game.
Good job by Elijah Malone, and he's a very capable, willing, and able passer. You saw he attacked that double, didn't panic, found the open man.
You see the West Virginia lineup, Small filling up the box score every single night, and Small opens the game with a 3 here.
You and I were at practice yesterday. Tad Boyle went over that play over and over and over again, telling his team you have to get over the top and not allow that 3. He's going to have to work on that adjustment during the game.
Hammond leaves the floater short. You said it the other night, if Javon Small starts to make threes, watch out.
He was way too comfortable on that play. They've got to play that ball screen tighter and tougher at the top.
35% from 3 on the season. Now Jonathan Powell's 38%, the freshman off target. Colorado off to an 0-3 start in conference play for the first time in 8 years, as they were in the Pac-12 then. Back in the Big 12 for the first time since the 2010-2011 season. Hammond down low to Malone, and Malone too strong with it.
You see they're going right inside early and often, and Malone's doing a good job of carving out that low post space.
Now Small getting downhill, and Javon Small draws the foul. Had the step on R.J. Smith.
Darren DeVries understands and knows what he has, and if you give Javon Small some space, and on this possession they were spread out, it was basically a 5-out, and the help's got to come a lot sooner. You've got to help off shooters. If you help off Harris, you can do that because he's not a great 3-point shooter. At that time, everybody stayed home and Small got all the way to the rim.
Top 10 in the Big 12 in minutes, leads the conference in that category. Scoring leads the Big 12 there too, 19.5 a game. It's also top 10 in assists, steals, and free throw percentage at 88%.
Well, it's not ironic or even surprising. There is a group of NBA scouts here today to take a look at Javon Small because he clearly is a top prospect.
Darren DeVries says from day one he has loved Small's competitiveness and intensity, just willing to do whatever it takes to win. And a whistle away from the ball. And a foul called against Eduardo Andre of West Virginia. You see Tad Boyle, year 15. When his tenure started here, Colorado was in the Big 12, then 13 years in the Pac-12, back to the Big 12. Andre Andre Yakimovsky off the mark from 3. He hit 4 of those against UCF. Boyle says, yeah, it's a marathon, 20 games in the Big 12. We stumbled out of the blocks. There's just no consistency from my team yet.
Well, and that's not surprising. He's got basically a brand new team from last year in the special season they had a year ago, but he's got a special coach, and he'll figure it out. And they're tough, especially in this building.
5-2 West Virginia lead. Hammond turns it over. Numbers for the Mountaineers. And Powell puts it in.
That's been Colorado's problem, but give West Virginia's defense a lot of credit. They attacked that trap, were aggressive in it, and Colorado's got to attack one of those trappers, and that's what happens is they get inconsistent offensively.
Smith is short. He struggled the last 2 for Colorado. West Virginia on the move again. Small, the extra feed. Open look for Powell, and he buries the triple.
Well, it starts with the defense, and they're going to try to get runouts because Darren DeVries knows if this gets into a grind, a half-court type game, he doesn't have the bodies or the offensive skill players to really make it happen in the half-court, but in transition, they can be very good.
10 straight for the Mountaineers after the Buffs had the first bucket of the game. Smith tries it again. This time he connects. 51% from 3 on the season. He was 0 of 16 from 3 the last 2 games.
A very good look from the weak side, and they set a little back screen. That was a special play called from the bench.
So 10-5, West Virginia on top, approaching the 16-minute mark. Here's Toby Okani, the UIC transfer, and heading the other way as Andre was looking for the rebound there. He picked up his second personal.
It's not a smart play by Andre. Good aggressiveness on the inside, but when you're blocked out like that and you already have 1 foul, you've just got to stay away.
So one of the best shot blockers in the Big 12 has to take a seat early. And Amani Hansberry, the Illinois transfer, comes in. Hansberry's okay. He left early. You saw it, Tim. 8 minutes to go against Arizona with an ankle injury that's bothered him. Darren DeVries said yesterday, yeah, he's feeling much better.
The main thing you have to do in short turnarounds in the Big 12 is, especially when you're banged up a little bit, is survive the long flights.
How about Hassan Choke with the shot from long range?
Took his time. He's only made 3 on the season, but he looked really smooth on that one coming to the top.
So Colorado with 6 in a row, a couple of threes, 10-8 West Virginia. Powell trying to get past Yakimovsky. And Powell with a savvy move with the fall away.
Oh, he's a freshman that's very promising, and Darren DeVries said he is starting to get comfortable. The game's slowing down for him, and with each game, he's getting more confident as a freshman.
12-8, Mountaineers on top. We apologize for the technical difficulties with our score bug at the moment. Yakimovsky on the block against Powell at this end. And Yakimovsky scores.
Yeah, that's a weight room move by Yakimovsky. He is 6'8", 220, and that time he knew what he wanted. He posted up, went right over the left shoulder.
Transfer from Washington State. And Yakimovsky's given Colorado some good scoring punch. Small, not this time. Loose ball. Yakimovsky was there. And it'll stay at this end. A timeout with West Virginia leading 12-10.
Oh, West Virginia playing at altitude, but playing fast and furious. And the freshman with the fadeaway. Nice touch.
Well, considering the Broncos are playing the Bills and wild card weekend right now, not a bad crowd, all things considered, here in Boulder. 2-point lead for West Virginia. Ted Emmerich, Tim Welsh, our entire crew. Well, we take a look at the net rankings in the Big 12. Tim, what stands out to you here in the early part of the conference
What
season?
stands out to me is what we thought coming into the season. This conference is overloaded with powerful teams, and no night is going to be easy. You saw it yesterday. I mean, BYU and TCU right down to the wire. Maybe the game of the year that I've seen is Texas Tech and Iowa State, and Texas Tech losing by 1 in overtime. I mean, look at the teams on that second screen, and BYU is good. Arizona State's good. UCF gave Arizona all they wanted yesterday. This team, Colorado, especially at home, can be very good. Kansas State's already beaten Cincinnati. You know, Cincinnati is 36 in the net, and they're 0-4 in the league. So anything can go. It's a great conference, and It's here for the long haul. Tad Boyle understands it is a marathon.
It's been so good year after year. The SEC this year might be historically good, but the Big 12 certainly still up there. Late in the shot clock, Hansberry pulled the string. Javon Ruffin back on the floor for Colorado. He missed the last game with a stomach bug that made its way through the entire team, and Colorado turns it over here as Bengot Dak threw it over the head of Trevor Baskin.
And that's what Tad Boyle's talking about, and that's what he was annoyed about yesterday in practice and coming off the UCF game. Just unforced turnovers. I mean, I don't know where Dak was throwing that, even if it wasn't into the band. There was nobody open. Just the simple pass, especially for a big guy up top. He's just got to make the simple, short, trusted pass.
Now, Tad Boyle said yesterday when we asked him, have you pinpointed what is the real issue with turnovers? It's everything. He said it's passing, it's footwork, it's the ball handling, it's catching.
Yeah, it's fundamental basketball. I mean, any level, it's so important, and they have a good basketball team. They do a lot of good things. They have good players, but then they go periods of time where they just kind of don't run their stuff, and they try to hit the home run. I guess that's the best way to put it. They try to hit the home run on every possession. Here's another turnover.
Yeah, so back-to-back offensive fouls. Monty Hansberry for West Virginia. And Colorado gives it right back. You see Darren DeVries, yeah, spelled like it's Darian, but no, pronounced Darren. Last 6 years at Drake, NCAA tournament bids, 3 of the last 4 years. You know, Tommy Lloyd joked after Arizona beat West Virginia the other night, hey, they beat us in Maui, they beat Gonzaga, they beat Kansas already. If I was DeVries' agent, I would have 2 more years on his contract already.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They've got a special coach there. It's a good shot by Yusufu. And the thing is, about Darren DeVries, you look at it, and the job he's doing is excellent so far in West Virginia, but his resume, that's not surprising. All he does is win.
And another turnover for Colorado, the 4th of the first half. Back to the Yusufu 3.
Well, just a good spot up, and Yusufu, he's kind of been a good solid backup. He's going to have to step up over the next few weeks with all these injuries, and that time he just took his time.
He shapes up as that X factor off the bench for West Virginia, especially without Tucker DeVries. The walk-on Jake Auer missed the 3. Here comes Colorado. Trailing 3 for Yakimovsky. Baskin, the offensive rebound, and he left it short.
Well, Yakimovsky, he can make that shot, sure, but they've turned it over, I think, 3 out of the last 4 possessions. They need to work the ball, make the defense work a little bit down at that end.
Oh, Small all the way to the rack. He's fouled. Javon Small was ready to create a poster.
Now, you better be down in a stance and be ready to guard before Javon Small catches the ball. And if you extend and gamble against him, that's what happens. He is just too explosive, too strong, too tough, and too smart.
Tim, how have you seen him grow from being Oklahoma State's best player last year, tough season for the Pokes, now with West Virginia? It's like he's leveled up.
Well, I think a year ago he was just adjusting to this level, which it's an adjustment to go from East Carolina to the Big 12. And I think he just played. He just played. And this year he's a total basketball player. Certainly showed some signs last year of being very good. And his numbers were good, but that gets shadowed when you're not on a good team, and he wasn't. And sometimes tried to do a little bit too much, and you don't get recognized when you don't win. And I think he was pretty good, but now he's very good. I think he's in better shape. He's total focused, and he's committed to winning.
And now getting a rare breather. Again, he leads the Big 12, averaging 36 minutes a game.
Here we go, let's guard, guard.
Sincere Harris returns for the Mountaineers. Sticking with Ruffin. Now Dak. And the whistle with O'Connor on him. Foul's called.
It's kind of a wasted foul in itself by O'Connor. Good job, good hustle, good toughness pressuring the basketball, but there's no reason to get out there and get into the chest of Dak when he's 30 feet from the basket, and he's already turned it over twice out there with no pressure.
So Small off the floor for West Virginia, and Hammond off the floor for Colorado here. Ruffin running the show. Here's Dak on the perimeter again. 6 to shoot.
West Virginia's defense is harassing right now.
And Ruffin still drains the three.
That was good defense. Harris was right in his face and much needed, but confident with Ruffin on the perimeter.
Ruffin's 7th made three of the season. Hansberry working inside against Dak, and he scores.
Good job by Hansberry. Just back Dak down. Dak's got to try to use his length on the interior.
Baskin, the D2 All-American at Colorado Mesa last year, draws the foul. And that sends us to an official timeout. Fouls on Harris.
Javon Ruffin, a much-needed bailout here for Colorado after a good defensive set by West Virginia. Confidence from Ruffin.
Ted Emmerich, Tim Welsh with you from Boulder. Number 21 West Virginia of 1913, nearing the midway mark of this first half. Both teams trying to bounce back from midweek losses. West Virginia against Arizona, Colorado on the road against UCF. Emmett's still off the floor for Colorado here. Dak looking for Baskin inside, and he found his target. Baskin with the bucket.
Dak proving right there that he is a quality passer. That time he just took his time, but West Virginia's pressure has Colorado back on their heels a little bit, but that time they responded, did a good job finding the open man in the paint.
So 19-15 West Virginia. And Yesufu hits the deck, and the foul is called.
Post up down low, and doing a good job on the box. And Baskin just was not to be denied. West Virginia did a good job wrapping around him, but Dak threw the pinpoint pass.
See Hammond back on the floor for the Buffs. Javon Small back in for West Virginia. You know, Baskin makes the move up from Division II Colorado Mesa. Elijah Malone, who's back out there from NAIA Grace College in Indiana. And Ted Boyle said it yesterday. They are still adjusting to this level. It's a huge leap.
It's a huge leap. It is. You see it around college basketball. Some guys can't adjust to it, and they've done a nice job of proving they can play at this level.
And he made the point for both. This is their 7th high major game of the season. 3 in Maui. And now the 4th Big 12 game of the season as Malone is fouled.
If you just watch them without knowing their background, though, you'd say they're fine. They're good. They're good enough players to play in the Big 12, and that's a great job by the staff. Tad, Billy Greer, and company of finding and identifying it. That's a risky thing when you go and look at players. You know, they could look good at that level, but you always wonder how will they adjust to all that goes with it to playing at this level, and I think they both have.
Malone was the NAIA Player of the Year at Grace College last season, and had offers from Indiana, Notre Dame, Butler, in addition to Colorado. Hansberry picked up the foul. It's his second, so Andre is back in with the 2 personals, and Colorado turns it over with the travel.
Again, you see West Virginia's game plan defensively. They are getting out and really pressuring the bigs, and here a turnover almost, and that it was a turnover. Great job by Colorado.
Boy, and Small is wondering how in the world was Yakimovsky not the last one to touch it there. And I believe they're changing it. Let's take another look.
Well, they clearly can't review it. They started to stroll over to the monitor, but that's not reviewable, obviously, at this point in the game.
Right. That's Colorado ball.
The Buffs stole one on that one.
Yeah, literally.
It happens.
Hammond from deep.
Again, we were talking about the game plan in West Virginia. They are really getting up in the skin, under the skin of the bigs of Colorado on the perimeter. They've got to be able to create a little space, maybe off the bounce, 1 or 2 dribbles.
Powell in and out. Yeah, Tim, I mean, West Virginia ranks in the top 20 in Ken Palm's defensive efficiency metric, and they're great defending the perimeter especially. Another turnover for the Buffs as Malone's trying to find Baskin.
Well, Colorado has plan A, B, and C as far as defending Javon Small. I think they may want to look at some of their offensive sets right now because their bigs are all on the perimeter. That time you saw Malone on the perimeter. You've seen Dak out there. You've seen Zope out there. And they're handling the ball, and they're under pressure, and they're not handling it well. So they may make a move to have their guards maybe run the offense a little bit more at the top.
6 turnovers for Colorado now. Harris getting downhill, threw it up, and he's fouled.
So when you're defending Sincere Harris, this is what you can't do. Especially he's on the right side of the floor. He is a hard left-handed driver, and he gets right to the middle. You got him. You have to force him back to his right hand and give him some space because he's only an 11% three-point shooter.
And yet, in the last 2 games, finally got off the schneid. Harris was 0 for his first 28 from 3, Tim. And he's now 4 of his last 8. He had a miss early in this one.
Well, as a coach, if you're letting a guy shoot that much, you know that he has that ability. So sometimes it's mental. You just have to let him shoot it until he breaks out of it, because he does have good form, and he made 2 in a row against Arizona the other night when we were there and looked very smooth in doing it.
He cut that lead to 5 at that point before Arizona stretched it out again. And another turnover by Colorado. It has been the story of their season, Tim. They average 15 a game. That's the worst in the Big 12.
Well, and again, it's one of the bigs outside of the three-point line. I think they can do a better job of be more successful by maybe posting up a Malone. They went to him early, and he gave them fits inside, and especially with Andre with 2 fouls in the game, you can go right at him.
Small finding Andre, rolling to the basket, counted on the foul.
Well, that's the danger of Javon Small. You have to pick your poison with him, and that time they stay with the dribbler a little bit, but they don't trap him. They kind of ice the ball screen and half stay with him, and no one picks up Andre on the roll.
And Hammond is called for the foul. That's his 2nd for Colorado.
R.J. Smith's running the point now. They've got Malone down low, which is, I think, a great move for Colorado. Try to get him the ball in the box. Now he pops back out.
Malone set the screen. Andre, the quick hands. The big man with the steal. Small, no. Loose ball picked up by Hammond.
Good hustle on the retreat by Colorado after the steal.
Hammond finds Smith. Oh, Small with the block. Hammond drills it from the corner. A frantic possession. It ends up as a Buffalo 3.
Well, Ted Emmerich, sometimes the best offense when you're struggling is offense by accident. And that was not drawn up, but still, it was good effort and efficiency when it counted.
O'Connor got the friendly bounce. Well, Toby O'Connor, Darren DeVries, very familiar with him in the Missouri Valley. O'Connor played at UIC. He was on the all-defensive team last year. Good glue guy that they picked up in the portal.
I like O'Connor a lot, but now this guards for Colorado starting to heat up, and that's who they have to go through. Their 2 guards, and then let everything else fall in place after that.
So back-to-back triples for Hammond. And it's a 5-point game at 26-21. Small with Yakimovsky on him. Again, Andre on the roll. Oh, and Andre flips it in.
Right now, Eduardo Andre on the roll, doing a great job in finding a way, making that extra step, the footwork. But Colorado's got to try to put a body on him. At least someone's got to stay somewhat glued to him and contest at the rim.
Darren DeVries is saying, shooter, shooter. Hammond has the hot hand, and he misfires this time. Harris turning the corner. And out of bounds to Colorado. Timeout.
Well, Eduardo Andre had the 2 early fouls, but he's made his presence felt on the offensive end with a little Javon Small-like move in the lane for the big foul.
Well, the conference opener, West Virginia rang in the new year with a historic win, their first ever win at Allen Fieldhouse, despite travel issues, despite being shorthanded. Javon Small had a double-double, Eduardo Andre had a big game, and the Mountaineers celebrating a 62-61 win.
Well, that's one that you can fly back from Lawrence, and you don't worry about any of the difficulties you had on the way to the game. Travel issues with the plane, no power in the hotel, but sometimes none of that matters. It only matters to the coaches. That gets you crazy when that happens to your team and breaks you out of your routine. But the players don't care, and obviously they didn't care that day. They had a terrific game plan. They shortened the game, they shortened the possessions, and they had Javon Small at the end when it counted.
One of 3 ranked wins for West Virginia already this year, and now the Mountaineers are in the top 25 for the first time in 2 years themselves. 28-21 here, approaching the 6-minute mark. Ruffin the fall away. And here comes Javon Small, leading scorer in the Big 12. Powell's had a good start to this one. How about another triple for the freshman?
He was shot ready, and boy, does Javon Small see the court well. He had one thing in mind: find the open man. His defender backed up. It was an easy pass, point blank pass, and catch and shoot.
First player in double figures, Powell with 10. And almost another turnover by Colorado. Ruffin a deep 3, way off.
West Virginia's defense is just so aggressive, out in the passing lanes, pressuring the basketball, moving on the pass, harassing all over the court.
West Virginia with its largest lead, up 10. Hansberry from the outside. And deflected by Small. It'll stay with Colorado. Back to Powell from the perimeter.
Just a simple pass, and for some reason Yakimovsky got caught ball watching in the middle of the floor. He was in good help position in case Small tried to dribble drive down the middle of the floor, but instead you've got to be aware he is going to find the open man if you cheat.
Darren DeVries said yesterday the game is slowing down for Powell. He used to hurry, used to be anxious. Dak to the rack for 2, but now Jonathan Powell is realizing, I'm 6'6", I don't have to take a shot immediately.
Right, and playing with Javon Small really helps. And that was a nice play by Colorado, a little 2-man pick and roll that cleared out the backside, and that's what they need. They have to have some balance, and Dak is pretty good with that, and that's just way too easy. Driving the baseline for Yusufu, who averages 4 points a game, and he's already got 5 in the first half.
Started his career with Darren DeVries at Drake and finishing it up with DeVries at West Virginia. Dak inside again, this time he's fouled.
Yusufu just taking the baseline and coming down, and here's a dribble drive and a little pick and roll, and I like that with Dak. He's good feet, good hands, good ability at the rim. You know, these travel issues are, yesterday West Virginia was a little bit delayed coming in, and everybody's got a different story because they're traveling all over the country playing in these different leagues. And we heard Mick Cronin the other night talking about UCLA's flight from LA to Maryland to play a league game, and it happens. And as a coach, you just have to make adjustments in your own mind, because if you get crazy about stuff, then the players are going to, they have a built-in excuse.
Well, West Virginia had to fly out of Pittsburgh instead of Morgantown to get here. Their plane was a little delayed, winter weather, it's that time of year, but got here plenty of time and got their practice in last night before the game today. Under 10 to shoot. O'Connell looking for an outlet. Hansberry down to 3 on the timer. Oh, Hansberry lost it. Got to put it up. Back was turned. It's a shot clock violation. Didn't catch rim. And a timeout with West Virginia up 10. Late stages, first half. West Virginia looking for a 3-1 start in the Big 12.
Well, that man knows how to win. That's been proven over the years, the course of his career, and of course last year the special season and the great win over Florida in the NCAA tournament that you were at. And you can hang your hat on that all season long. You can point back to what you did well in a game like that to help your team grow. And obviously they're going through some growing pains, but you know it can be done because they did it that night in Maui.
R.J. Smith airballed that 3. It's a brand new team for Colorado, really like it is for West Virginia. Powell off target. Here comes Baskin in the open floor. Oh, got stripped by Small and out of bounds to West Virginia. And the Mountaineers, Tim, they just make it so tough on you no matter if you're in transition or not.
And one thing you can't do is over-penetrate. You've got to see the floor. You've got to let things settle in. And right now they're having trouble. Now they're pressing up on West Virginia, which they have in their game plan, but they have not been able to do because they haven't scored enough.
Yeah, Tad Boyle said it yesterday. Hey, we want to pick up West Virginia full court on makes most of the time. We love to tire out West Virginia here at high altitude. We know about their injury issues, but West Virginia hasn't allowed for that. They're getting stops.
Yeah, kind of point. Remember, reminds me of back in the day, Ted, as they say. You have when you play somebody, you try to cut the head of the snake off and maybe try to wear them out if you think that you have more depth than them and they're shorthanded with their numbers, which West Virginia is. But they have a one-man press breaker, Javon Small, and it's very difficult. All you need to do is get the ball into him, and he can beat one man, he can beat 2, he can beat 3.
Hey, you see the numbers, Tim, for West Virginia defensively this year. They lead the league in block shots. And by the way, when it comes to field goal percentage defense, 3-point percentage defense, not just at the top of the Big 12, they're top 10 in the country in those categories.
That's excellent. They're excellent. That's, defense travels. It really does, and we all get caught up into the offensive numbers, but we know without Tucker DeVries, they have to play a little bit different style, and they've got to hang their hat on their defense, and then they've got a point guard that is special, elite, but who's also unselfish.
Yesufu tweaked something there. He is wincing, and the officials stop things here. Now you see the look on his face.
He doesn't want to come out. He's playing pretty well tonight.
Yeah.
He knows his minutes have been 15 a game, and he's playing some significant minutes today.
Powell on the drive. Oh, looking for O'Connor. Ruffin saved it. West Virginia still has it. And was the shot clock supposed to reset there? It did.
Come in, Greg. Come on. Bring it in.
They reset it to 28 there.
They deemed Ruffin had possession, which he did. That's good officiating. An excellent crew here on a Sunday afternoon.
Andre finding the cutting Small, trying to scoop it off the deck. Loose ball, a tie-up, and it'll stay at this end with the arrow.
Andre tried to squeeze it in there, but he's an excellent passer for a big man. Just pretty good defense. Colorado's played better defense the last couple minutes. They're more active on the basketball, doing a better job away and contesting.
Andre all the way to the rim for 2+1.
Eduardo Andre is not going to set any record scoring wise, but he is very efficient in a lot of ways. First defensively, we noted that, but also offensively, running the pick and roll, the ability to make passes and then finish in traffic.
A couple of years at Nebraska, a couple of years at Fresno State. Andre says, I've never been to an NCAA tournament in my career. That's why I'm here. I'm here because of Coach DeVries, who clearly has that track record.
Well, they use him very efficiently. They don't try to give him too much, but they also don't ignore him as well.
Ruffin, nice pass, and Baskin with the flush.
Well, that's where I think Colorado can do their work. They've got to try to just be patient, enter the basketball, and try to go inside. And then maybe the outside will loosen up if they start going to the rim.
Taller Yakimovsky watching Small here. Now Baskin on the switch. Small racing. And Small using the head fake to his advantage.
Well, that's the head fake we saw at the end of the Kansas game. That's a lost art. Just the ball fake, the head fake, the shot fake, and no one does it better.
Now Yakimovsky for three. Oh, way off target.
He was open, but he just had to rush it because of the ability and the quickness of West Virginia to close out quickly.
Yakimovsky considered Colorado's best perimeter defender. He has had a tough time with Javon Small. Andre the screen. Small the step back.
Well, that was good defense by Colorado on that possession.
They feed Baskin. Carrington, the former walk-on, puts it home.
Good job by Carrington, just cutting on the weak side, moving without the basketball. Good job again by Colorado. Baskin making a nice pass under pressure.
And now pressure from Colorado after the make.
Well, that's their game plan, but they get it to the one-man press breaker, but he had to rush it.
Baskin the steal, trying to find Yakimovsky. Yesufu takes it right back.
Oh, Tad Boyle's chest just getting tighter by the second over there. Good, bad play, good play, good play, bad play.
Ruffin the pass ahead to Baskin for the deuce.
More energy here in the last few minutes by Colorado. They're starting to settle into this game and adjust to the pressure of West Virginia. And yes, this pressure is disrupting West Virginia a bit.
Shot clock dark. Final 20 seconds as Colorado has cut it to single digits here.
Good job, just slowing West Virginia down. Full court pressure.
Small with 5. Almost lost it. Gave it up. Andre the dunk right before the horn. Oh, they're waving it off. One official waved it off. Another says count it. Darren DeVries is asking for the explanation.
I believe, Ted, that he said the wave off sign means the half is over, I believe. And, which is kind of confusing. You were confused, I was confused, Darren DeVries was confused, but they're going to take a look at it, but they counted it.
That is, yeah, he clearly released it in time. Should absolutely count, and it will. So the dunk for Andre just before the half. I mean, Darren DeVries comes over to Marcus Pettigrew and says, that was good, right? Yes, it was. And West Virginia, coming off a season worst offensive performance, puts up 40 on the road as they shoot 50% in the first half. Up 11 here in Boulder at the break. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN from gorgeous Boulder, Colorado. Buffaloes at 0-3 in the league, looking for their first win in conference play, but down 11 against number 21 West Virginia. As we get ready for the start of the second half, Ted Emmerich, Tim Welsh, our entire crew. Tim, you touched on it again. Turnovers the story for Colorado, 11 in the first half. What is the adjustment for Tad Boyle and his team against West Virginia's defense?
They just need to be more aggressive offensively and have better spacing. I think they're back on their heels a little bit. The pressure got to them early. They seem to handle it a little better in the last 5 minutes of the half. Sometimes that takes an adjustment, and I think that's what they'll do. They'll try to attack a little first with Hammond and Smith and then go inside.
Hammond coming off a career-high 26 in the loss to UCF. Had 6 points in the first half here. Baskin starts the second half and going high-low with Hassan Jope, and the foul's called.
Well, they're going with Hammond and Ruffin to start the half, because Ruffin played good. He's got a little more size. He can be aggressive, and I think that's what they need to do. Try to put some pressure on the interior of West Virginia's defense first, and then work inside back out.
Jope at the line, 83% on the year, drilling the first. Tad Boyle told us yesterday, Tim, I loved Hassan's energy against UCF. We just need him to find that consistent level of effort.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a good prospect. He's going to make mistakes in this league for sure, but you can see the talent. That time he did a good job of finding that angle to the rim to get fouled.
Jope was in the ESPN 100 his senior year of high school, number 74 in the class of 2023. Small with Jope on him. This is fun. Small trying to break him down, cut off, 5 to shoot. The footwork by Small, and way too strong.
Good job by Jope, just holding his ground, not reaching, not going for the pump fake, and just using his length.
Ruffin got cut off by Andre. Hammond takes the baseline, couldn't reverse it home.
Good job by Andre, just protecting, resisting without fouling.
Back to Small, this time against basket. Yakimovsky on the switch. And a step back 3 for Javon Small.
That's not fair, Ted. It's not, because you have to play the dribble drive, and he just is so good at creating space with the step back.
A dozen for Small. Hammond, that drops.
Good job by Hammond. Julian Hammond understanding you can go down low against West Virginia. And the thing is about Yakimovsky, he's doing a very good job. He's using his length, but they're trying to guard him off the bounce and play that bounce, and then all of a sudden now he takes that quick step back.
Now Small giving up 5 inches in that matchup against Yakimovsky. Now against Ruffin. Another step back, and another triple! Javon Small making it rain in Boulder.
Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna do. I guess you have to go against the grain there and just say, okay, take away the 3 and then hope he misses inside or gives some help, and there comes Hammond again.
So Small and Hammond trading baskets. Small with the 3s, Hammond with the 2s.
Good doubles, Toby.
Two of the best guards in the Big 12. Oh, one more step back triple. Give it to him. Javon Small's on a heater.
Not much you can do with that as a coach. We said earlier, the one-man press breaker, he does remind me a lot of Chris Paul when he was in college. It's just impossible to defend him because with one guy. And then if you do guard him with 2, send the double at him. He's so unselfish and so good. He's going to find the open man, but here you have to stay with him. You have to get up in his chest. Even if he on the blow-by, give up the blow-by, hope that somebody can come and help and you can rotate a little bit. But much easier said than done when you're guarding a guy like this.
The development is just remarkable from last year to this year. Hammond in a crowd. Oh, that almost went down for a chance at 3.
And West Virginia seemingly in the first 3 minutes of this half and the last 5 minutes of the first half have solved the turnover issue, and they're starting to score a little bit in the half court. But the problem is my math teacher told me when I was younger, 3 beats 2 every time. And
yep.
And that's what the problem is right now with Small.
Hammond hits the first, cutting into what was the biggest lead of the game for West Virginia at 14.
And when you look at his stats and you watch and break him down on tape, he is a good, sufficient, and efficient 3-point shooter, but that's not his game. He only makes about 3 per game, but he's starting to feel it, so you have to make that adjustment.
So Hammond knocks them both down. Small is 4 of 6 from downtown, 18 points. Powell had 10 in the first half. And secured by Jope. Hammond gave it up. Nice defense by Okani against Yakimovsky. Joe over Andre. That doesn't drop.
It's a good move by Joe. This little spin move took his time, but there's guys open on the perimeter. You got to look. If the ball goes inside, you feel that double. You've got to look back outside.
Oh, come on. Small, not this time. Same move, different result. Now Baskin against Andre. Backing him down. And a foul on Andre. That is his third. Sends us to an official timeout. West Virginia by a dozen here in Boulder.
Well, Javon Small, you pay money to watch him play. We get to watch it for free, but I would buy a ticket for that man.
Point lead for West Virginia on the road. Take a look at the standings in the Big 12. And, you know, Tim, you pointed out Iowa State with that huge overtime win on the road against Texas Tech. Houston also unbeaten in league play. But what about Arizona? They were 4-5 at one point. Tommy Lloyd's team has not lost since. You saw them Tuesday when they beat West Virginia in Morgantown. They beat UCF at home last night. They're 4-0 in the league.
They got great guard play. Caleb Love led the way yesterday, but seemingly Tommy Lloyd has a different guy every night, and you know, they inserted Del Orso into the starting lineup. KJ Lewis has been really good as well, and they found their way. They found their way now. They're playing really good defense. They've got nice balance, and they've got a winning coach, a guy who knows how to win at a high levels. And talking to Tommy Lloyd at last Tuesday when we were in Morgantown, he says, listen, it's a marathon. You got to set yourself up to have a good conference season. They had a brutal non-conference schedule. They had their ups and downs with that, but now they're playing their best basketball.
Yakimovsky, the spin against Auer.
Well, that's good coaching right there, understanding that mismatch, gave him some room to roam, and he just took his time, went right to the rim. And Colorado now is starting to run their offense right around the rim, and they've really been successful with that. They have to just find a way to slow down Javon Small.
Yesufu from the outside. That's a triple.
Yesufu has come up big today. Out of nowhere. Much needed with the lack of depth on the squad on the bench for West Virginia.
Couple of threes, 8 points now for Yesufu. He was teammates with Yakimovsky at Washington State last year. There's Yakimovsky with another bucket.
They're going right to the well there. They see that mismatch, and Darren DeVries can't watch that much longer because Tad Boyle is a veteran coach. He's going to keep going to that play right on the box.
Yesufu wants another. And the rebound for Yakimovsky. The native of North Macedonia, just north of Greece in Europe. Hammond attacking Auer. So 3 straight times they go against the walk-on, and a timeout for West Virginia.
Well, this is what they do in the NBA, Ted. They find a mismatch and they keep going at it until you prove you can stop it. And now Colorado starting to gain some confidence on the offensive end.
Good start to the second half for Julian Hammond, the third, Colorado's leading scorer, 8 of his 14 since the break, and he's got rich bloodlines. Parents hooping at Loyola Marymount and Cal Poly, grandfather Julian Sr. in the ABA. He's also got a football background. Tim was a 2-time state champion at Cherry Creek High School as the quarterback. He was 23-0 as the starter, and now he's the quarterback for Colorado on the court.
He is, and Tad Boyle better be aware that Dion will scoop him up with Shedeur going to the pros. He's going to the NFL next year, but Dion fever is alive and well.
Prime all the time here in Boulder, and for good reason. Oh, Small got Hammond off his feet. Couldn't bury the 3. And a foul called against Colorado.
Now, he's got one of the best shot fakes that I've seen in college basketball in a long time. Just on balance, really shows the ball, head fake, ball fake, and stuff you teach the young ones in camp, but it's hard to perfect.
Back into the hands of Small against Bangot Dak. Under 10 to shoot. Small got past Dak, and he puts it in. Oh, Javon Small hit Bangot Dak with the too small. And they blow the whistle here. It's a technical foul against Small for the taunt, I believe. Bangot Dak goes 6'11". Small scores over him. It gets teed up.
Well, it's a point of emphasis this year, and hopefully as we move on in college basketball, the players will understand. And he's allowed, I guess. He's played so well, and defying the laws of gravity, the way he just hangs in the air and draws the contact and finishes through contact amongst the bigs down low. And Kip Kissinger said, no, thank you, can't do that.
Can't do that, can't say that. But we heard exactly what came out of his mouth, but you can guess if it warranted a technical. Oh, Hammond trying the pocket pass. It's stolen by Yesufu. Powell rejected by Carrington.
Harrison Carrington gives him that energy guy off the bench, and he makes a lot of unsung plays. And this time, tremendous hustle from the weak side and great timing as well with the resistance.
Carrington, at one time a walk-on, was put on scholarship in September. Sophomore from Menlo Park in California. Small, the lob. Oh, Connie couldn't finish, but it's a foul.
Javon Small threw that ball way up in the air. I think it was about to clear the backboard, and Dak made a quick recovery, but there was contact right at the release.
And so Dak picks up his third. Connie just 55% at the line. This is his first trip to the line today. Well, school's back in session tomorrow for Colorado. Not a bad turnout. Students just getting back. Connie goes 0 for 2 and heading the other way.
I think some fans have snuck in here after the Broncos went down already. And
yep.
Colorado's played tough. They've played tough the last 5 minutes of this first half, and first part of this half. Other than the three threes by Small, Colorado's played pretty good defense as well.
Yeah, so you got Bills fans here. You just saw Broncos fans, of course, here in Boulder. Pretty brave walking in here with the Josh Allen jerseys. Then that said, remember Josh Allen, product of Wyoming. You head up about a couple hours to Laramie.
Not as brave as the Bronco fans that were in the stadium in Buffalo today.
Play is confirmed. Number 8 is our shooter.
Dangerous.
Officials just making sure that the right shooter toe the line here. Dak at the ready. So they get that sorted. And Dak was 0 for 2 earlier. Back to the line here.
Well, Dak has
one more.
Sorry, Ted. Dak has settled down too since the first part of this game. He had the turnovers early, and Colorado seemingly has straightened that part of their game out. Now they have to figure out a way to just played more solid defense. Now they're going to get into their press, which they had in their game plan all day when on a score to try to wear down West Virginia.
Remember, with Javon Small's 3 consecutive threes, Mountaineers led by 14. Colorado has cut that lead in half. Eight on the timer. Back to Small against Yakimovsky. Small, another step back. Not this time for 2.
Terrific defense by Yakimovsky. He just would not relent. He gave him a little room, but he still was able to cut him off.
And Carrington, grazed the nylon there, but Yakimovsky recovers it. Carrington swatted by Andre, but a foul. And if it's on Andre, it's number 4.
Carrington putting a hard hat on, just making those plays. Toughness, kind of smashes his way down. All Andre had to do was build the wall down there, just a little overextended, and he's going to have to come out.
So Andre picks up his 4th personal. The backbone of West Virginia's defense. And Carrington in and out with the first. As Amani Hansberry comes on for Andre. And we haven't seen Elijah Malone here in the second half for Colorado.
Well, they're down a little bit of a smaller, quicker lineup, a lineup that handles the ball a little better. I think the pressure was getting to Malone a little bit from West Virginia. And this lineup, more ball handling, better length as far as ability to guard on the perimeter.
Harris, the step, the block by Carrington again.
Who is this guy, Ted? He's got 1 block on the season. He's the protector this afternoon. That's no fluke. Great timing, extension, and toughness from Harrison Carrington.
There's a reason he's on scholarship now.
And there's a reason he's on the floor. He's made a lot of good plays.
Hansberry backing down Yakimovsky, foul.
Tad Boyle claps. He doesn't mind that. He likes the toughness. Yakimovsky is rock tough, and he's proven it. You know, he had those 3s in his face, but in that last possession, he really guarded Small like a pro, cutting off the angle, using his length, and then contesting on the mid-range shot.
Small against Ruffin late in the shot clock. O'Connor pulls the trigger. Hansberry an offensive board. Loose ball picked up by Carrington. Ahead to Baskin. Ruffin tried the tip. And it's pulled in by Harris.
That was a good play, though. All the way to the rim. Baskin just got caught a little bit under the goal. Took that Euro step and got caught with a bad angle. Now the big-time player is going to try to take it over.
A little more noise here in Boulder now. 6 to shoot for Hansberry. Against Baskin. Too strong.
Really good defense by Colorado. They are not relenting.
Ruffin initiating with Hammond off the floor. Sebastian Ronchik is fouled. And we've got a timeout as Colorado has sliced this deficit down to 6. Well, they are mourning here in Boulder this weekend. Coach Mack, the long bout with dementia, the all-time winningest coach in CU history, and the man who led the Buffs to the 1990 National Championship, being laid to rest, the College Football Hall of Famer, Bill McCartney, was 84 years old. It's the ultimate understatement. West Virginia can absolutely use Tucker DeVries on the floor. This is the 7th straight game that he's missed, and his dad, head coach Darren, tight-lipped about his injury. It's an upper body injury. There's no timeline for his return, Tim. He's not practicing right now, but Darren DeVries says he is rehabbing. He's progressing well with whatever the injury happens to be.
Well, veteran coach Darren DeVries, he understands injuries are part of the game, and it's a tough thing not only when it's your best player, but it is your son on top of it, and he means so much to this team. But give this team all the credit in the world. I mean, to come in here today and play like this, to beat Kansas on the road, to just beat Oklahoma State without, I mean, they kind of retooled and understand. And Javon Small he's shown me so much without Tucker DeVries that he doesn't try to do too much. He still gets everyone else involved. He knows that by far he's the best player on the court, but he gives his teammates a chance to be good because of what he does.
Now Small is trapped by Carrington and Ronchik, and it's a turnover. A timeout. They granted the timeout. But the pressure by Colorado making a difference here.
We saw this yesterday. Colorado, it's their 24 defense, which is full court, and Tad had to get up in their face to remind them, because they don't normally do this, but they have it in their game plan. They said, we're going to be deeper. West Virginia plays only 7, maybe 8 players. So they've gone to 9, but we're going to try to wear them out with our depth, and they're playing at altitude as well, and it seems to be working. But the problem they've had in the first half is they didn't score enough to get into their press, and there you see the resume. Just a terrific coach, 15 years here, and his program is always at the top of the ladder as far as getting into or being considered to be in the NCAA tournament.
Had to remake the team. They lost their top 5 scorers from that team a year ago that won a school record 26 games, went to the 2nd round of the tournament. 3 NBA draft picks on that team. And here today, they've cut a 14-point deficit down to 4. Small moves it across this time.
Good job by Small, though, taking the timeout rather than turning it over, understanding how to reorganize themselves. And that time they did a good job of getting organized against that pressure.
5 to shoot. Yesufu over Ruffin. This is a 2. That's right down the chute. A long 2.
Yesufu has come to play this afternoon. Played against Colorado before when he was at Washington State in the Pac-12, so he feels comfortable in this building.
10 points now for Yesufu. Ronchik on the drive. Forget about the shot. Foul is called. It'll still be 2 free throws.
Yesufu has played very well today, just taking his time, and a couple threes in the first half. Got banged up a little bit, but he's played with a lot of toughness. He's got that strong body. He's defended well on the perimeter.
You saw the toe on the line there, so yes, a 2 for Yesufu. Now 2 free throws for Sebastian Ronchik from Slovakia. Now Colorado's already in the double bonus here.
We're seeing a different rotation here. We're told Elijah Malone is dealing with some back issues, and he's got a wrap around his midsection over there on the bench. And R.J. Smith has not been involved either. They've gone with Ruffin and all the forwards too. They're playing with 1 guard, sometimes 2. Now it's Ruffin and Hammond in the backcourt.
Even without Malone, this has become an energy lineup for the Buffs here in the 2nd half.
Well, Ronchik and Baskin, Yakimovsky, they can all guard multiple positions, and now they're coming back in with Zope, and they're all long and lanky, but they're all very athletic. They can move their feet, so they can guard multiple positions, and that length can bother West Virginia, and it has a little bit in the last few minutes of this game.
So you saw Malone and his resume on the bench, dealing with a sore back, we're told. Like Tim said. Harris. Five to shoot. Yesufu against Trevor Baskin. And it's a walk. A turnover by West Virginia.
Well, a couple things have happened. Colorado solved the turnover issue. They started going inside more instead of running their offense on the outside. They're trying to go right inside first, and not only with the pass to the bigs, but also driving with the guards.
Knocked out,
but
by
also
Harris.
Their defense, Ted, has been excellent. They're doing a good job of communicating. They're handling the pick and roll at the top, and it's basically been one and done. West Virginia doesn't crash the offensive boards much, but Colorado's doing a good job of getting it off the glass and trying to run out.
And now a foul on Yesufu. And so Ruffin steps to the line for 2. Remember, Colorado didn't get to the line much at all in that first half. And the fouls have piled up on West Virginia. They got in the bonus, now the double bonus very early. And you see what Colorado's done at the line here in the second. And the other thing that's helped him is they haven't turned it over in the second half. Just 1 turnover in the second half after 11 in the first half.
And when they didn't turn over the first half, they ran pretty good offense. And West Virginia's got to try to amp up the pressure a little bit. Trying to get into Hammond and Smith and see if they can get out and get some runouts off some turnovers. Now they're going to have to face the press again now. Let's see if Powell, he's got to run the baseline to try to get Small the ball. He's stationary there. He should run the baseline. He's allowed to after a make.
They feed it into Small.
Change the angle. When you're allowed to run the baseline, you should always take advantage of that opportunity because it changes the passing angle.
Now Small guarded by Hammond instead of Yakimovsky. Joe picks him up on the switch. Bigger defender. Small tries the step back. Joe run on the floor and he's fouled.
Well, Javon Ruffin has played an excellent second half, and here with the hit ahead, had his eyes up and just the direct bullet pass. That ball had to have some juice on it, or else West Virginia was recovering and on the retreat. But on the other end, they did a really good job of contesting Small on that step back.
Tell you what, Ruffin's really made a difference here in the second half. He's played a lot more alongside Hammond instead of R.J. Smith.
Well, I think his size means a lot for Colorado. His size at the guard spot. No, he's about 6'5", but he's got those long arms. He plays a lot bigger than 6'5", and that's bothered West Virginia's guards on the defensive end.
And now it's a 2-point game. Under 9 to play.
And the other thing this press has done, it's pretty obvious. It's been successful, not necessarily with steals, but taking a lot of time off the clock, and West Virginia doesn't have a lot of time now to run half-court offense.
Small. He draws the foul. Just what West Virginia needed. Javon Small on the attack, but man, was he shaken up.
He hit the floor pretty hard. He did that acrobatic move and drew the foul. He is a tough guy. He knew this was needed, and then just kind of thrust his body into Ruffin. Ruffin actually was in pretty good defensive position, and Small just threw his body into him to draw the foul and then take one for the team with his body.
We saw him clutch his right elbow, landed hard on that side.
Now this pressure that Colorado is putting on in the full court has not allowed West Virginia to get organized and run their half-court offense, because by the time that Small got the ball over in the wing, there was like around 10 seconds to go in the clock, so they don't have time to set anything up. But when you have a guy like Javon Small that's so smart and can make plays on his own, that's what he needed to do, and he did it.
Trying to shake out that arm. Third best free throw shooter in the Big 12. Splits the pair.
Yeah, that obviously bothered him there. He's short on that one.
Baskin trying to spin around Hansberry. And a foul.
And Darren DeVries wanted to walk. I thought they were going to call a held ball here, but a lot of toughness here by Trevor Baskin. He's wrapped his arm around, but he gets into the body.
So 4 personals on Hansberry. We haven't seen Eduardo Andre in a while after he picked up his 4th. So foul trouble in the middle for West Virginia.
Tad Boyle ditched that offense that we saw in the first 10 minutes of this game, and smart move by him. And you knew he is a smart coach. He saw that. He said, wait a minute, our big guys are handling the ball out on the perimeter, and what are they doing? They're just turning it over. Now they're spacing the floor. They've gone smaller, and they're letting their forwards have some space and try to drive to the rim, or trying to post up first and then maybe go back outside and let the guards attack.
See, Andre has returned. With the 4 personals, just like Hansberry now. Back to a 2-point margin.
Let's see how they handle the press. They've been unsuccessful getting the ball to Small because Colorado is sending the 2nd defender at him. Now they get it back to him, and he'll have time to operate.
Back to Small with 10 on the shot clock. Asking for the clear out. Against Yakimovsky. Small. Andre, the offensive rebound, and the throwdown.
Well, Andre's so important. He's been out of the game this half with 4 fouls, but he's got to keep himself on the floor.
Andre's first points of the 2nd half. He's got a dozen. Baskin against Andre, again playing with 4 personals. Joke puts it in.
Colorado continues to go right deep into the post, posting up right in front of the rim. Been really successful. Yakimovsky did a really good job on that last possession. Andre hurt him on the offensive glass, but his defense has been really good the last 4 or 5 minutes on Small.
Fans to their feet in Boulder. 7 for Small. Finds a cutting Harris for the dunk.
That's what you do when you have the great player who's unselfish and understanding. Everybody's loading up on him that someone's going to be open if you don't stay home and you get caught ball watching on the start.
Baskin on the attack against Andre. Oh, Hammond, wild shot, but a foul. And a timeout. Colorado down 14 at 1 point. It's a 4-point game.
You watch the NBA, it's everybody shooting a million threes, but this is old school. The paint, toughness, get on the glass and finish at the rim.
Well, since halftime, this is the team Tad Boyle has been looking for since the start of Big 12 play. They've stopped turning it over, an attacking mindset offensively. They're getting to the line. They were down 14 early in the 2nd half, and now it's a 4-point game.
Well, that's a big piece of it. Probably the main piece. They changed their offense now. They're more of an attack 5 out, and they're dribble driving. They're trying to post up a little bit, not only in the box, but right in front of the rim. They're moving better without the ball. They're attacking West Virginia's pressure with their guards first. And then on the other side, their defense has been good. Their defense has been good. It's been solid, and they've been able to get some stops and then get some runs in transition.
Hammond with the free throws, back to a 2-point game.
Yeah, this press is, it's annoying for West Virginia is what it is. That's the best way to describe it. It's using up a lot of clock, and it's using up energy to get their offense going.
Powell trying to get around Baskin, short.
Good contest by Baskin. That was a very good move by Powell, but Baskin stayed right with him, and that 6'9" prevented a good, clean look at the rim.
Powell had 10 in the first half, hasn't scored since the break. Hammond has 18 to lead the Buffs. Baskin takes it over Andre.
It's a solid look. You got to take what the defense gives you. He can make that shot. Sure, they loved it over there on the bench, but you got to keep the defense honest. They back up from the foul line. You got to make that shot.
Harris head down, in and out, and count it. It was in the cylinder. Baskin rips it down, must have touched it while it was still there.
Well, I think he ripped, either he touched the net and pulled the rim down or somehow touched the rim. I don't think he ever touched the ball. It was a tough to see. It happened so quickly, but Kip Kissinger had a really good angle on it, and he called it immediately. I think he touched the rim here, watch. Yes,
he did.
He grabbed the rim when the ball was on the rim in the cylinder. Good call by Kip Kissinger.
Either he deflected it with the ball up there, or, yeah, like you said, absolutely grabbed the rim there.
Hey, JP! Come on, go!
Hammond fouled by Harris. And Sincere Harris has fouled out.
Now, this is West Virginia's mindset to play this way defensively, but you start getting yourself in foul situations, you've got to try to back up a little bit. You have to understand how the game is being called. And it's most likely being called a little bit tighter this half. Whether it's Tad Boyle saying something to the officials like, you got to give us some room to breathe, which they didn't have in the first half, but West Virginia was playing good, solid defense on the perimeter without fouling. But there you see a quick giveaway of free throws and a good player having to leave the game.
And as Harris takes a seat next to Tucker DeVries, he's out for a 7th straight game. West Virginia just can't afford guys fouling out with the short rotation. Andre out there with 4. Hansberry with 4 as well for West Virginia. Small with 21.
Good switch on Small and the pick and roll.
5 to shoot for O'Connor, who backs it out against Ranchik. O'Connor. A chance to tie or take the lead. Ranchik over Andre.
Go, Joe! Go! To them!
Yesufu sprinting. And he's headed to the line.
Well, Joseph Yesufu has played a terrific game. Just a backup who just gives them some depth and some minutes occasionally. He has played with a lot of confidence and toughness, and this is much needed because Colorado's doing a much better job on Javon Small. On the last play, the previous possession, they ran the pick and roll, and Zoe came out and just got out on Small, and at 6'8" did a really good job of defending him at the top, and they switched on the pick and roll and denied the roll man at the rim. And so that was much needed after that stop to get out in transition because they'd struggled in the half court.
And Yesufu really has given West Virginia a lift. Couple of free throws here. He's got a dozen.
He's playing good defense on Julian Hammond as well down on this end.
And a turnover, just the second of the second half for Colorado.
Javon Ruffin has played a very good half. He just was trying to rush the issue a little bit, but Javon Small, when he's up in your grill, sometimes those things happen.
Yesufu on the tip by O'Connor. And a foul called.
Well, again, Yesufu missed the shot, but his dribble penetration into the lane and getting all the way to the rim caused Colorado to come over and give some help. And when that happens, you know, the blockouts on the weak side sometimes don't rotate down quickly enough. And they didn't really come over totally, but O'Connor made a good hustle play at the rim.
You see the numbers today. O'Connor 0 for 2 from the free throw line. The 5th-year senior from Orange, New Jersey.
Darren DeVries was trying to work the officials, saying it wasn't O'Connor that should be shooting the fouls. I think he wanted to get somebody else on the line who has a better percentage. And can't blame him for that after watching that free throw.
Missed the front end. Mountaineers by 4 as we approach the 4-minute mark. Wesley was trying to feed Jobe, and it's a takeaway by West Virginia.
That was the old problem from the first half, trying to throw the ball to your post man 25 feet from the basket.
Small in the lane. Back to the leading scorer in the Big 12 against Hammond. The step back three, offline.
Great defense by Hammond. Just held his ground, cut off the dribble drive, and then closed out hard on the contest.
Hammond catch and shoot.
Oh, Tad Boyle says, why? Why? 4-point game. That's just too quick, too far, too contested.
Tad Boyle was so fiery at practice yesterday, and one of the main talking points with his players is just take good shots.
Well, you're a senior. You can't make that play, that decision after you worked your way to get back into this game.
And a whistle here, Ruffin defending. And a timeout. West Virginia up 4, trying to take it to the finish line on the road. Point lead for number 21 West Virginia here in Boulder against Colorado. Ted Emmerich, Tim Welsh, our entire crew. The officials taking a closer look at that goaltending call on Trevor Baskin here during the timeout.
Yeah, I mean, if grabbing the rim as the ball's in flight or on the rim, I think that they'll keep this way. Kip Kissinger is saying he pulled the rim down. The rim was shaky because of Baskin's grabbing of the rim, but they're huddling on this. And the interesting thing is that if the ball has not reached the cylinder, it's not goaltending. So that's what they have to determine, which is kind of one of the stranger rules. We had a game a year ago where someone pulled the net down and the rim was shaking as the ball went up on it.
After review, the goaltending play at 5:43 was confirmed.
So it stands.
See, I don't think it was so close. I don't think there was enough evidence there to overturn the call. But these officials are excellent. You get 3 Final Four officials on the call here today, and they've done a good job because it's not easy. There's a lot. This game has been very, very physical.
Again, that was from about 3 minutes ago as Yesufu misses the first free throw. He was fouled by Javon Ruffin before the timeout. Ruffin now with 4 personals for Colorado. Yesufu with 13 off the bench for shorthanded West Virginia. The lead is 5.
Tad Boyle had some discussion during that last timeout about the shot selection down the stretch, which is so important. And they've been so good this half, but you can't have any slip-ups, especially when you're behind late in the game. And that last time, Hammond rushed the shot.
Ruffin, the turnaround, an air ball, but recovered by Hammond. What a hustle play. Open look for Ruffin for 3. Oh, Baskin with the hammer on the follow.
Baskin's been all over the place on both ends, and at 6'9", just great length. And we got a timeout here, but a much needed, because West Virginia did a great job defensively, but Yesufu at 6 foot and Baskin at 6'9" is no contest at the rim.
And a timeout for Colorado. Down by 3, 2:22 left. Trailed by 11 at the half. Down by as many as 14. That came here early in the second half when Javon Small went on a tear from three-point land. But Tad Boyle's team right in it. Now, we said it off the top 10. We get a chance to see 2 of the best guards in the Big 12, a conference full of them. And Julian Hammond III and Javon Small have not disappointed.
No, they haven't. And, you know, Tad Boyle was upset with Julian Hammond in that shot, but he's still out on the floor. He's so important. He's just trying to win the game. You can't fault the young man. But here's where Colorado has bothered West Virginia. Not so much that they've stolen the ball, but they've not allowed Javon Small to take his time to get himself comfortable to start the offense and run the offense. Now they're doubling him to get the ball out of his hands. And last few possessions, he started in the corner and then comes back to the top, and he really hasn't had a lot of freedom to do what he does well.
Okani had it poked away by Baskin, but out of bounds, and it'll stay here. What's the counter for West Virginia then if Colorado keeps trying to get the ball out of small
Well, they have to try to get him the ball on the wing. I think isolate him, have some misdirection on the weak side where he can play 2-on-2 and have a little bit more space to operate.
5 to shoot for Yesufu. Knifing past Hammond for the bucket.
Or give it to Joseph Yesufu because he's been the answer in the second half with his toughness, his experience, and just playing at a high level this afternoon.
15 for Yesufu, and especially big after Sincere Harris fouled out. Yakimovsky against Small. Trying to feed Jope, and a foul on Andre. He's done. 5th personal on Eduardo Andre.
Well, this is a teaching moment, of course, for a coach. And on the film, they'll be watching this tonight on their way to Houston. And, you know, you got a 5-point lead. You can't reach in. You got to just play solid. You got to play solid defense. You can't give the other team just free points. You got a guy like Soap. He averages 4 points a game. He's not really post up in a dangerous spot. Let him catch it there. Who cares? You know, if he goes to make a move, then you build the wall. Let him shoot over the top. If he makes it, fine. And you're still up 3. Now you put him on the line, and now you're fouled out of the game. It really hurts your team. You've got to be smarter than that.
So Harris has fouled out. Andre has fouled out. Hansberry takes Andre's place with 4 personals himself. And Jope hits the first.
If Zope catches that ball down there, I would venture to say he's going to have a tough time scoring over Eduardo Andre. And he's a good quality player. He's going to be good. He's a freshman. But he's not going to score right where he was posted up. But now he does score, and Andre's out of the game.
And Jope has been nails at the line, 8 for 8. 1 possession game again. 1.5 minutes to play. Yesufu racing, met by Jope. He flips it in with the foul. Joseph Yesufu has been massive for the Mountaineers.
Well, here's the deal with that. When my old coaches used to say, if they're going to press you, you got to make them pay. And they're doubling the ball. They're doubling the ball to get out of Javon Small's hand. And they're pushing up the court. And you've got a fearless guard in Yesufu this afternoon who does make you pay. And it's really not a gambling press. They're just getting the ball out of Small's hands, but Yesufu's been so active and aggressive that he has made them pay for the press.
18 points for Yesufu, the 6th-year senior. Ruffin, way short, and into the hands of Yesufu. And Small is fouled by Ruffin. Javon Ruffin fouls out, 1:03 to go.
That's the beauty of college basketball. You go through the scouting report, you go through the film and the analytics, and you've got all the guys breaking down tape of every individual player. There's not a lot of individual highlights to show about Joseph Yesufu on the season. So he's at the bottom of your scouting report for sure, and not something you're thinking about. You're thinking about Okani and Small, of course, and Powell and Andre and Hansberry. And then all of a sudden, this guy comes out of nowhere and makes big play after big play. And I would think he's going to garner some more minutes moving forward, and just played just terrific on both ends all afternoon.
Small knocks down the first. Now, Joseph Yesufu, Tim, a season high 18 points. Only the 2nd game this year he scored in double figures. He looks like the player he was as a sophomore under Darren DeVries. And Drake, rebound by Okani. West Virginia up by 7 with the ball. And And Small's fouled again, this time by Ronchi.
Yeah, you got to give it. You got to give it right away. That's what Tad was yelling at his team. There's no time to fool around, now down by 7. And just West Virginia just a little tougher on that glass on the offensive rebound on the free throw.
Yesufu, when he was a sophomore at Drake, he averaged 13 points, and that's how he went from Drake to Kansas. Had that breakout season under DeVries, and he's come full circle now, playing for DeVries as a 6th-year senior. 9-point game. Hammond, a brick, rebound for Small. And another foul with 38.9. Now, Colorado showed such fight, clawing their way back in it, but give credit to West Virginia for punching back in the end.
Well, again, you said it well. Colorado did fight, and they changed their scheme a little bit offensively. They changed their lineup. They went into the post. They drove to the basket. They got to the free throw line. They played tougher defense after they gave up those 3 threes to Small. But big play after big play from Yesufu, and just the ability to handle the pressure without panicking, and understand when the clock got under 10, still make good, smart basketball plays led to this win.
26 for Javon Small. Hammond hits a 3, and a timeout for the Buffaloes with 31.9. Now, you saw West Virginia Tuesday night in Morgantown. They lose to Arizona. Worst offensive game of the season for them. Darren DeVries said after, we have 20 of these conference games. You're going to have bad nights. We just can't let it affect the next one. They built that double-digit lead at halftime. Colorado made its run. And the Mountaineers, barring a huge run here in the last 32 seconds, we're going to get to 3-1 in league play. And Joseph Yesufu has been that X factor for West Virginia today.
Well, he has. He makes a couple plays in the first half, and it was in the context of their offense. And this is great player development. This is great coaching, building confidence with your guys that come in off the bench, making them believe that you believe in them. And when you talked to Darren DeVries last night, as we did, it was no big deal, the Arizona game. We're going to learn from him. We're going to look at the tape. We're going to figure out what we do best. We understand we're undermanned, but there's no excuses, and we understand we're in a great league, and every game is going to be tough.
Connie's fouled by Baskin. 28 seconds. That's a guy you want to foul for Colorado. Connie 0 for 3 at the line today.
Well, we put this in the win column for West Virginia. It looks like it, but there have been bigger comebacks in the history of the game. So keep us here.
Missed them both. Here comes Yakimovsky. And fouled. Boy, Javon Small, eyes wide open. Are you serious? If you're West Virginia, what are you even fouling at all? 23 seconds, not that he intended to do that.
I do remember a game where we were down 9 with 50 seconds to go, and the fans left the building and booed at the same time. And then a minute later, we made 3 threes, sent it to overtime, and won. So there you go. That's the beauty of college basketball.
Yakimovsky's first time at the line here today. And he drops them both in. 6-point game. 23 seconds.
Colorado has not given up. They're going to keep pressing. And
Yesufu in trouble, calls the timeout. West Virginia's final timeout.
Aaron DeVries shaking his head. He knows it's never easy to finish it off on the road.
Well, West Virginia's going to stay on the road. They won't even go back home to Morgantown. They're going to head to Houston after this one. Wednesday night against the 12th-ranked Cougars right here on ESPN+. And then, oh, by the way, Iowa State on the other side. So 2 of the 3 teams that are 4-0 in league play coming right up for the Mountaineers.
And I would venture to say that those rankings would change and they will just move in upward direction for both Iowa State and Houston. And you go on the road, you figure it out, long flight, playing at altitude, shorter bench, but they've proven that they can play with pretty much anybody in this league.
And as for Colorado, what's coming up? Well, another home game. And if Colorado does not pull off the miracle here, they'll be facing the only other team that's 0-4 in Big 12 play in Cincinnati. And we know that's a huge surprise, the way Cincinnati played going into conference play.
I don't care who you're playing in this league. It's going to be a bear, especially, you know, these good teams. Cincinnati is a very good team, but it can happen that the way the schedule breaks, sometimes you're going to have a little bit of a losing streak. And as Darren DeVries said, listen, we got 20 of these. We got to just get up off the mat and try to figure out how to get better, because it still is early January.
First up, got to get it in here against the pressure.
Small with a shove to Ronchik. Not a smart move right in front of the official.
Carrington the deflection. West Virginia ball. Colorado wants a review here.
Especially with Small, already has 1 technical. He came right out before the ball was inbound, and Ronchik was standing there. He just shoved him 2 hands in the chest.
Now the officials head to the monitor here. And Carrington thought for sure it was off West Virginia. Let's take another look. Again, Yesufu trying to connect with Jonathan Powell. Oh man, did it go off the left hand of Powell there at the end?
Looked like it changed direction. Tough to see from our angle. I'm not sure if they're going to have a better one than that to overturn it.
Now, Carrington definitely gets a piece of it here with his right hand. And off the fingertips of Jonathan Powell. But again, ruled West Virginia ball. Is there enough to overturn that? Let's find
confirmed.
Out. Oh. Okay then.
Yeah, there wasn't enough there.
Yeah.
I mean, it may have happened, but it's just.
Yeah, is it clear and obvious? And it looks awfully close there.
Well, now West Virginia has another issue, that the ball is inbounded on a dead spot. So Yesufu cannot move. He's in a very tough area. They're not putting a defender on him, which is a little surprising.
And his teammates all running routes like receivers. The deep ball to Okani. And he was able to hit it off Paskin. West Virginia ball 20.7.
Well, Paskin probably should have fouled him right away. But he probably thought that the ball was going out of bounds and didn't anticipate that. It was a good play by Okani.
Into Hansberry, and there's the foul. 18.8. So Amani Hansberry, very good free throw shooter. 82% on the year. Heads to the line for the first time today. 24 of 29 on the year.
Here's what we were talking about before. Javon Small comes right out of the timeout before the inbound play, and he goes up to Ronchik and just shoves him 2 hands. And he's got to be better than that. He's lucky Kip Kissinger is standing right there. Some officials, they've had a bad day or a long flight and they're cranky. They might call it technical there.
And like you said, that would have been the second, and Javon Small would have been done. Picked up that technical in the first half.
I like that, though. It's good refereeing to kind of pass on and understand. Let the players play it out. Sometimes those things do happen, but you've got to watch it.
Final 10 seconds. Hammond hoisting. Ron Cheek gathers. Pulled in by Jonathan Powell. It's a bounce-back win for West Virginia on the road here in Boulder. First ever meeting with Colorado. And Darren DeVries' Mountaineers are 3-1 in Big 12 play with a hard-fought 78-70 win over Colorado.
It can't be overstated how tough it is to travel across the country and come play in a tough building against a solid team, and that's what West Virginia did. They put their imprint on this game early and often with defense. They answered the bell. Colorado came back at them, but when it counted, West Virginia made all the smart and tough plays.
Javon Small, the spearhead again for West Virginia. 26 points and 7 assists for the Mountaineers. Top scorer in the Big 12, filling it up yet again. 78-70 the final as Colorado falls to 0-4 in Big 12 play. So that'll do it from here at the CU Events Center. Appreciate you joining us here on this Sunday, the standalone Big 12 game on the schedule. For Tim Welsh and our entire terrific crew, Ted Emmerich saying so long from Boulder. West Virginia, a winner on the road.